according to these latest rumors, Jon Favreau of Star Wars just basically snapped. Okay, yes, Jon Favreau of Star Wars finally has had enough of Kathleen Kennedy and her insufferable, uh, if you will, micromanagement of the whole, excuse me, the whole Star Wars universe. And instead of just simply rolling over like everyone else has for the past decade, Jon Favreau of Star Wars was has actually stood up, drew a line in the sand, and basically started swinging. Now, it's not just a little pushback either. It was a full-on power move. Now, Jon Favreau is making it crystal clear. He is done playing second fiddle to Kathleen Kennedy, okay, who basically driven the Star Wars brand into the ground, made the fans run away with one cringe decision after another. Okay. Now, according to a particular Disney insider, Jon Favreau of Star Wars made a bold move behind the scenes where Jon Favreau directly told Isaac to cancel his appearance at the Star Wars celebration in Tokyo. Yeah, not suggested, not hinted, basically told him. This wasn't some polite conversation over sushi. This was, Jon Favreau of Star Wars laying down the law. And the crazy part, he did it in direct defiance of Kathleen Kennedy herself. Now, Kathleen Kennedy personally invited Isaac, okay, probably, thinking that, she can use him as some sort of nostalgic pawn to remind fans of the sequel trilogy, the trilogy that a lot of us actually rather forget it ever existed, myself included. Now, Kathleen Kennedy is clinging to it like it's her legacy, even though it's been a nonstop PR nightmare. And get this, Jon Favreau of Star Wars basically gave, Oscar an ultimatum: don't show up or never work with Lucasfilm again. I mean, that's pretty huge, and Lord forgive me for saying this, pretty ballsy, if you will. That's how serious this is. He's not bluffing, he's not playing games, he's establishing dominance. And Oscar, I mean, being a smart guy, I mean, who can clearly see which way the wind is blowing, didn't even hesitate. You see, he folded like it seemed like he folded like a cheap chair and poured out. But there maybe also because he's also filming the next Marvel of Avengers movie. I could be wrong, but that's not loyalty to Kathleen Kennedy. That's basically survival instinct and stuff. Now, people don't want to be tied to the particular woman who oversaw one fiasco after another. Okay, now I'm not saying that Oscar Isaac was scared of Jon Favreau. I mean, I'm saying there may be schedule conflicts and everything with Avengers, Doomsday and stuff. I mean, I think I said the wrong Avengers movie title, but anyway, he's doing this Avengers, movie and stuff, and they've actually started filming recently. But the insider made it very clear that Oscar Isaac is not backing Kathleen Kennedy anymore. I mean, nobody is. You see, she's yesterday's news, a relic, and Oscar, like anyone else with half a brain, doesn't want to be tied. Doesn't want to tie his name to a sinking ship. Now, you don't ride with the captain when the ship's already halfway underwater. You see, he knows the real power is shifting towards Jon Favreau of Star Wars, and he acted accordingly. I mean, that's not betrayal. That's just simply common sense in the chaos that Kathleen Kennedy had actually created. Okay, and it's her fault. Now she has no one to blame but herself. Now I'll be honest, I was surprised too. Jon Favreau of Star Wars has always been the nice guy. You see, the peacemaker, and Jon Favreau is the guy who played ball even when Kathleen Kennedy was, simply wrecking the franchise with every decision that she made. So my question is, what exactly changed? And this particular Disney insider said it straight. Jon Favreau has zero F's to give. You see, that's a direct quote and stuff from that insider, and that's where we're at now. You see, after years of dealing with, endless drama, insane cope coming out of Kathleen Kennedy's office, the tone deaf strategies, if you will, as well as all the decisions that killed the franchise. I mean, let's face it, Jon Favreau of Star Wars basically is has had enough. He's transforming from nice guy to Grand Admiral Thrawn levels of cold, if you will, calculated and ruthless. And also, apparently, the final straw for Jon Favreau of Star Wars was Kathleen Kennedy and her refusal to step down. Even after Jon Favreau leaked to the press that she was leaving this year. I mean, I'm not sure if he actually leaked it, but I'm thinking somebody else leaked it. I might have said the wrong name, but that was his warning shot. But Kathleen Kennedy stayed put, ignored it, and classic Kathleen Kennedy. And right now, we're seeing a new side of Jon Favreau, and it's freaking people out at Lucasfilm. But at the same time, there's a newfound respect. You see, people realize that Jon Favreau is not just a friendly director guy anymore. He's actually stepping up, taking charge because someone has to. Because if Jon Favreau doesn't, well, then Star Wars might not recover from this disaster that was caused by Kennedy. And now, I mean, I'm be honest, it doesn't seem that it's just a power struggle. I mean, basically, it's a legal battlefield too. Now, as you all know, and this insider also revealed it too, Lucasfilm's own attorneys are on the side of Jon Favreau and stuff of Star Wars. That's right, the lawyers who've been stuck cleaning up the mess of Kathleen Kennedy for years have finally just basically said enough. I mean, and yesterday, after a judge ruled in favor of Gina Carano in her motion to compel Disney to comply with Discovery, I mean, those same lawyers also sent Bob Iger a message, basically said, "I told you so." Excuse me, "I told you so." And that's how bad Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership has become. Okay, and it's crazy but not surprising. But at the same time, these lawyers have seen what's coming if this legal battle with Gina Carano keeps going. Now they know what's in those discovery files, and guess what? It's not good at all. You see, it's a nightmare for Disney and Lucasfilm, and pretty sure for Kathleen Kennedy too. They're practically begging Iger to settle with Gina Carano now before this explodes into something even worse. Because if Discovery continues, well, then the world is going to see just how far Kathleen Kennedy and her control reach and how many catastrophic missteps that she's made while, basically running Lucasfilm brand into the dirt. Okay. Now, the whole in-house legal team isn't missing words. You see, they've told Iger flat out this could go ahead and just simply destroy the company's image and the brand itself and his image too. Now, think about that. These are Disney's own lawyers admitting that continuing this legal fight with Gina Carano is suicidal. But what's stopping Iger from pulling the plug? I mean, is he just simply too stubborn, or is Kathleen Kennedy holding something over him? Because let's be honest, how else do you explain this, particular level of tone deaf, decision making at the top? All right. Now, the judge's ruling yesterday wasn't just a win for Gina Carano, it was actually a warning shot. You see, it means the judge is already fed up with the legal games of Disney. You see, he's not buying the stall tactics. He sees right through the whole BS, and that's bad news for Kathleen Kennedy as well as Iger. Okay, because if the judge is leaning in Gina Carano's favor already, and those discovery documents actually come to light, well, let's just say it's going to be a full blown PR meltdown. Now, y'all think that Bud Light had it bad last year. Just wait until the truth comes out about Kathleen Kennedy and stuff, as well as how she was handling her regime. And while all of this is happening, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy is still pretending to simply show that she's in control, or still acting like everything's fine, still acting like she hasn't turned Star Wars into a huge laughing stock. Now that's the definition of insanity right there. Clinging to a failed legacy while the walls are closing in, and honestly, it's sad but not surprising. You see, this is the same Kathleen Kennedy who actually greenlit the acolyte, who thought the rise of Skywalker was, a good idea, who thought the whole Disney sequel was a good idea, who turned Luke into a coward in The Last Jedi, and who thought that we'd all eat it up. I mean, tone deaf doesn't even begin to describe Kathleen Kennedy and her approach. Okay. Meanwhile, Jon Favreau, on the other hand, of Star Wars, is out here playing chess while everyone else, including Kathleen Kennedy, is still trying to go ahead and color inside the lines with broken crayons and stuff. You see, he's Jon Favreau is positioning himself as the de facto head of Lucasfilm without even needing formal announcement. Now, remember, this is rumor. Okay, hasn't been confirmed, hasn't been reported yet, but this is rumor. Now, the power shift is happening right in front of our eyes, and the only people who don't see it are the ones who still stuck in Kathleen Kennedy's little echo chamber, pretending to go ahead and pretending her error hasn't even been unmitigated disaster from start to finish. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is not just about Star Wars. This is about leadership. This is about accountability, and this is also about someone who's finally standing up and saying no more to the failed top down insanity that's been driving the Disney brand and stuff, okay? Right deep into the ground. Now, Jon Favreau of Star Wars didn't want this fight, but now that it's here, he's not backing down at all. You see, he's actually channeling that inner thorn, if you will. And please forgive me for all the Star Wars puns that I'm making. Elegant when possible, ruthless when necessary. And he knows that the survival of Star Wars depends on taking the reins away from Kathleen Kennedy herself. Okay. And it's not just that, but it's plenty of other things that's right there too. But the real question is, will Bob Iger actually listen to reason? Will he finally cut Kathleen Kennedy loose and stop this train wreck before it actually crashes through the station? Remember, it was reported before that Kathleen Kennedy is planning to retire. But will whatever secrets Kathleen Kennedy has on him keep him paralyzed, watching helplessly as Jon Favreau of Star Wars cleans up her mess in real time? Because one thing's for sure, Gina Carano, as well as her legal victory, has shaken the foundation, and Kathleen Kennedy looks to be more isolated than ever. Okay. Now, we're also watching how, the changing of the guard. You see, Kathleen Kennedy's influence is actually collapsing, while Jon Favreau of Star Wars influence is actually rising, and everyone inside Lucasfilm knows it. The fans knows it. The actors know it. Lawyers know it, and you better believe that Disney's board also knows it as well. But I mean, what happens next could either be a huge course correction or just another corporate disaster on par with the Marvel and Pixar implosions. Either way, the clock is ticking, and Gina Carano and her legal case just might be the particular fuse to go ahead and light it. Now, this isn't just a feud, it's a huge reckoning. And for once, the right guy, Jon Favreau and stuff, might actually win. Now, Kathleen Kennedy's long, painful grip on the galaxy far, far away is slipping. And when the nice guy stops smiling, well, let's just say people who's been screwing everything up usually get, destroyed. Okay. So, as usual, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button in this video if you enjoyed or shared. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.